It is a beautiful, calm morning here at Lake Paulina, or Paulina Lake. And there's a few fishermen out there, a bunch of sailboats. Sure is pretty, nice and quiet. It's about 9:30 in the morning, and I think we're going to take the loop trail, see where that leads us. Well, I believe this will take us around the lake. It's 2.5 miles, and well, let's give it a shot. I was going to walk through here last night, but mosquitoes were out a little bit, so I called it quits. So the trail's pretty nice, and there's no shortage of mosquitoes or flies out here. Should have sprayed up before I came. Oh well. Woo. We might have to call it quits. Tons of skeeters. So a nice little area right here overlooking the lake. Pretty in the morning. All right, well, I think it's time to break camp here. We're gonna head out and say goodbye to Paulina Lake. We're gonna drive up the road. They have a East Lake. We'll check that out and see what it's like. Nice little campground. It's pretty quiet. Actually, it was really quiet. All right, so this morning I woke up at 7:30 and made some coffee and kind of toured around the park a little bit and looked at the lake, and became mosquito food, which wasn't pleasant at all. Matter of fact, I still think I have one floating around here somewhere. So I left Paulina Lake and I drove about 4 hours west, and I ended up over at the coast. So that's where I'm at right now, and maybe some footage or pictures or something to follow. But when I got here, let's see, over there it was like 92 degrees near Paulina, in that area, high desert. You get to the coast, it was like 64, but then the fog rolled in and you couldn't even see the water because of the fog. So not much to see. All right, so with all that said, we're ready to start dinner, and tonight's entree is going to be a pulled pork sandwich. So we do have all of our ingredients laid out, and it's pretty simple, and we're just going to make that, and we're going to chow down, and we'll probably have some leftovers because I still have leftovers from my Philly cheesesteak, which was so primo good. Anyway, so let me give you a shot of what we got going, what we're going to do, and let's get to doing it. All right, so we're going to start out with the Keystone, and this is the pork. So we're going to probably use about a half a can, put it in our pan, shred it up a little bit, and we'll start seasoning it and cooking it. And for seasoning, we do have the Johnny's, we got salt and pepper, and we do have your wash your sister sauce and your soy sauce. And then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and add the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. So we'll probably add some of that into the pork as we're cooking, and then before we actually top it onto the sandwich, we'll probably add just a little bit more, and that is going to be so good. All right, I'm getting hungry, so let's go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open our can of pork. Pork. And then we're going to heat up our pan, and then we're going to go ahead and dish some of that in there. All right. Oh, it smells good already. Man, sweet. All right, so I do have a spoon, and we're going to go ahead and heat up our pan, dish that in, about half of that can, and we'll start cooking that up. All right, so we are heating up, and we are going to take a couple of chunks of this here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of meat in this can. Like I said, we're going to use half of it. And I know that we will have leftovers when we are done. So this is going to be a nice little prepper meal. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. We'll add a little bit of juice to that. Sweet. And then the rest of this we will put in the freezer bag because we're going to eat that later. All right, now while that is heating up, we do have a little bit of fat in there. We're going to go ahead and pull this apart just a little bit because we don't want the big chunks in there. Yeah. And I'm just using a couple of forks, grab a hold of the big chunk and just kind of separate it. And you know, by itself, dang, that smells so good. Now, where I'm parked, we're in a parking lot. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's not actually like level, so everything is kind of tilted this way a little bit. So, maybe about 2 or 3 degrees. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and let this heat up until we get that nice bubbly sound that we want to hear, and then we'll start adding some seasonings. All right, so we're getting that nice simmering feeling right here. So now it's time to add in some ingredients. So let me grab my stuff and we'll start adding in some yummy deliciousness. All right, you can add in your seasoning of choice. I do prefer the Johnny seasoning. It just has that flavor that I really like, and you just can't go wrong with Johnny's. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of Johnny's, and next we're going to do a little bit of soy sauce. And for that, we are going to, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and keep the lid on here and pop the top. I don't want to dump a bunch in there. All right, and you're probably looking at about a teaspoon of the soy sauce. And then the let's see if you can say it, wash your sister sauce. There you go. Yeah, you heard me right. And then we're going to add probably about a half a teaspoon of that sauce. Ooh, that's smelling yummy already. And then we're going to do a little bit of salt and pepper. Yep, that's smelling so good. And then a little bit of pepper. Oh, that is, oh man, that is smelling so good. And then we'll just kind of give that a little bit of a stir, get things in there. Now I guess if you would like to have a little bit more flavor, you could do some garlic, but I don't know if pulled pork sandwiches warrants having a garlic taste. But like I said, that's all up to you. I prefer not to. So we're just going to go ahead and let that simmer, and we're going to let that juices kind of boil off just a little bit. And in the meantime, we'll get our buns ready on our plate, and then we can get ready to dip out. So the last ingredient that we're going to put in here is a little bit of barbecue sauce once a little bit of this juice is boiled down. And then we'll dish up and feast up. All right, so we've got most of the juices have now kind of boiled off a little bit, and I know that our meat is thoroughly cooked. Now it's time to add a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's. And what we're going to do is just kind of add enough to change the color. I think that's going to be it. I won't know until we get it all mixed up. Oh yeah. And man, my mouth is watering. It smells so good. I think I might add just a little bit more in here. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Yep, perfect. All right, so my other camera here, the storage is full. So where we left off is we just got that meat to where we've got it a nice brownish red texture. We added just enough of the Sweet Baby Ray's, and now we're almost ready to put that on our buns. So we're going to let that heat up for a little bit, and then I'll prep my buns. Like I said, I'm not toasting or anything. We're just going to open them up, and then we're going to spoon our pulled pork on there, and then we're just going to gobble it down. I'll give it a taste test and decide whether or not I need any more of the Sweet Baby Ray's. But yeah, oh man, it smells so good. All right, so to get some of that nice deliciousness on there, we're going to spoon this out and then put that on our bread and get ready to chow down. Now I can't do this with one hand, so give me a second. We're going to take this, put it on that, and then we're going to put it in this. And there we go. So we're just going to cap that off. Oh yeah. We don't want to. Oh yeah, that is so yummy. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of chips here on the side. And then we're going to sit here and chow down because I am hungry. And there we go. So I'm going to see if I can't set this phone up and you can watch me chow down on some deliciousness. So this is my version of pulled pork sandwich, and this is a prepper meal using canned meat and just some ingredients from store shelf, which you can store for quite a long time. So let's dig in. All right, so here we go. We are going to, I don't know where the camera is. I'm guessing it's right there. All right, not used to using the phone. So obviously the chips are good. Now we are going to have a first bite of this messy sandwich. Ooh, and it's steaming. Yeah, that's so good. So you could add a little bit more of the Sweet Baby Ray's on top. But I think it tastes pretty good as it is. Not bad for a coastal camping cuisine. So we're doing a little bit of free camping over here at the coast, and cooking up some nice pulled pork sandwiches. So that is, I'm going to give that a thumbs up. How would I rate it against my Philly cheesesteak? Whew. I really like them Philly cheesesteaks. Oh, those were so good. Wow. This will be number 2. Philly cheesesteaks were primo. And I'll take those all day long. Alright, let me finish these up. We'll wrap this video up. And you can see where I'm kind of located. Check it out. Alright, so all the dishes are done, everything is put away, and my belly is full. So we are good to go, and I enjoyed that so much. Alright, well, I think what I'm going to do is watch a little bit of a movie, and then we'll hit the hay. We'll start the new day. So thanks for tuning in, and if you like this content, kind of leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you like it or don't like it. Alright, until next time, please stay tuned.